Yo, what is up guys? It's me exactly. Thank you for joining me back on that quest to 200k and hashtag a millionaire. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs. We got some things to talk about today, so we're gonna get right into it. But first, I have to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the app that is a must-have for NBA fans who enjoy or want to go see games live. They let you see the view from the seat before you purchase, as well as rank the seats on a scale from 1 to 100 to make sure that you are getting the absolute best deal. Speaking of best deal, you can enter the promo code SDC to receive $20 off your first order to make it an even better deal. Download the app in the description box below. The only thing that can explain this Markelle Fultz situation is the Monster. Either that, or have you guys seen that cringy Kevin Durant movie on Netflix? I think it's called Thunderstruck, where Kevin Durant gets his abilities swapped with the abilities of like a 10-year-old who sucks at basketball. It's crazy, but that honestly seems like what's going on with Markelle Fultz this season. We all know the story that the Sixers have given with Markelle Fultz. It's been gone over so many times. Them saying that there's something wrong with his shoulder. It's nothing serious, doesn't require any surgery, but hey, you know what? His shot's jacked up and he can't lift up his arm. Watch the man shoot and you cringe. He hasn't been playing and there hasn't been much word about him since like the first 5 or 6 games of the NBA season. But good news came out yesterday as the Sixers said that he will now begin practicing again with the team. But there is still no timetable for his return. But that still sounds great. He's back to practicing. That means he should be at 100%. He should be able to lift his arms up, wave them all around, no pain. His shot shouldn't look like the way his shot was looking. It should be back to normal. That's what I was thinking when I saw this. And when I woke up this morning, I was prepared to make a good video talking about Markelle Fultz is back. But then this morning, I decided to do a little more research just to make sure I wasn't going to misinform you guys. And what I found kind of upset me. I found this little video clip right here that was posted this morning. Look at that. Look at that. The first 3-ish seconds, I was like, all right, he hit him with a nice move. Fultz might be back, but then I saw him shoot the ball and my soul died. If you're a Sixers fan, I am sorry. The shot didn't even come close. Like, Philly, what did you do? I will never understand how a player all of a sudden, the #1 pick in the draft, who was supposed to be this amazing scorer, he can shoot the ball from anywhere, yet he gets with you guys and now he literally can't shoot. He forgot how does that happen? A brand new update on a trade that went down months ago just came out. Breaking news. People just won't leave this alone, will they? Keep poking it with a stick. Anyways, the Cleveland Cavaliers are playing the Boston Celtics tonight. Of course, Isaiah Thomas won't be playing. He did play yesterday, but we'll talk about that later on in the video. Instead of focusing on Isaiah Thomas though, the media is focusing on Kyrie Irving and the Cleveland Cavaliers, trying to once again poke the trade that happened with a stick, get some more responses out of these guys. And that's why ESPN decided to do a bit of an interview with Kyrie Irving where they talked about the trade and how things went down. Now, in this interview, Kyrie Irving said that his whole trade request had been distorted by the media, but he didn't care enough to correct it. He just didn't feel he needed to say anything because he knew the truth and the Cavs knew the truth, and as long as those two knew the truth about what happened, what other people were saying doesn't matter. He also went on to say that the Cavs didn't want him there, said that they tried to trade him in June right when the finals ended before he even put in his trade request, that him leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers was inevitable. So there is all of that, which if you ask me, it's cool to find out, but at the same time, it's kind of pointless. What happened. The Cleveland Cavaliers traded into the Boston Celtics. That's all that really matters at this point. So there isn't too much to say about that, but what I did find interesting in this article or interview or whatever you want to call it is a little story about an exchange between Tyronn Lue and Kyrie Irving. Lue said, "I want you to play a little faster." "Why?" Irving asked. "Because if we play faster, we get shots off easier." "I don't need to play faster to get my shot off," Irving replied. "I can do that anytime. I'm not talking about your shot, I'm talking about JR and RJ," Lue said, citing teammates Richard Jefferson and Smith. "Well, that's number 23's job," Irving replied, referring to James. Wow, after that, the story says that Tyronn Lue just walked off shaking his head. And this story has been confirmed by Tyronn Lue and another assistant coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers, so this actually happened. I don't even know how to feel about this. Kyrie Irving really said, why would I play faster to help Richard Jefferson and J.R. Smith get shots up? I can get my shot up no matter what, so why should I have to help those guys get their shot? Which, I mean, he wasn't necessarily wrong. We all know Kyrie Irving's job when he was on the Cleveland Cavaliers wasn't to facilitate the offense or get other guys involved. It was to score. All that other stuff was the responsibility of LeBron James. But I mean, if the coach comes up to you and asks you to do something that's supposed to be for the better of the team, and you say, no, I'm gonna get my shot up no matter what speed, so what you're saying is irrelevant, it's hard to imagine. Like, this stuff really happens. And this is why I say it's important to have a good coach that demands the respect of the players. If Kyrie Irving were playing for Greg Popovich on the San Antonio Spurs, Coach Pop comes up to him and says, you know what, Kyrie, we need you to play at a faster pace so we can get other guys involved in the offense. And Kyrie sat back to Pop what he said to Ty Lue. Oh, you best to believe Kyrie would have been on the first flight out of San Antonio. For what it's worth though, Kyrie did clear that up too now that he was asked about it. He also confirmed that it happened, but says he wished he handled it a little different. At the time, we probably had lost a few games. Lou was coming up to me and saying, we've got to play faster. And I probably wasn't willing to accept it at the time, so maybe I like a do-over on that. But to me, of course, this does make Irving look kind of bad by disrespecting the coach so much, but in my eyes, it makes Tyronn Lue look even freaking worse because this just confirms that no one respects him. His players don't respect him. He doesn't have control of the locker room. If you have a player telling you no after you ask them to do something that's for the betterment of the team, they just flat out tell you no, and all you can do is walk away shaking your head, that ain't a good look. And it's sad that I can even envision this happening. I can see Tyronn Lue walking away, and after he walks away, I can see him going up to LeBron James crying because Kyrie Irving told him no, and then LeBron goes up to Irving and says, come on, Kai, we need you to play a little bit faster, and Kyrie's like, all right, LeBron, but then he's mad at Tyronn Lue because he knows Tyronn Lue snitched, and then Tyronn Lue's too scared to ever say anything to Irving again. That's exactly how I can see that situation playing out in my head. And now that I know all of this, I mean, I guess it was probably for the best for both sides if Kyrie Irving was traded. Of course, he wasn't happy there. According to numerous reports, even from Cavs players like Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye, and Iman Shumpert, he wasn't happy last year. And maybe the Cavs did try and trade him before he even asked for his trade request, but I mean, even if they didn't, I can still see Kyrie Irving asking to be traded anyway. But Tyronn Lue, you gotta demand some more respect than that. As the Thunder get ready to take on the Lakers for the first time of the season, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. You already know that the media had to bring up Paul George and the Los Angeles Lakers once again. You put those two in the title, that's click, 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 click. So they decided to ask him some pretty stupid question about if he had any regrets letting it be known that he wouldn't mind playing for the Lakers this summer when he first asked to be traded from the Pacers. Yes, the media actually asked him that question, and this is what he had to say.
Do you have any regrets that the Lakers part of that came out, that became public?
No, I had no regrets at all. All was said was a destination that I would love to go to. There wasn't, hey, gunpoint to the head, send me here. I just stated somewhere I wanted to go play. You ask 80-70% of guys in the league if they would love to go back home and play in front of for their city, play for their home. That's all I stated. I would have loved to go back home and play for my city. So no regrets at all. No regrets at all. I thought this trade that went down was a win-win for both sides. I'm happy with both.
What did they expect him to say? Yes, I regretted it. I wanted to keep it a secret. Y'all know my dirty secret that I want to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. No, he's not going to take back what he said. That was just a pretty generic response from Paul George. You pretty much knew what he was going to say before he even said it. And yes, we're going to have to keep hearing about this Paul George to LA stuff until he decides to sign somewhere this summer. So stories like this ain't going nowhere. Well, that was a lot better of a game from Isaiah Thomas than I thought he would have his first game back. I expected him to be extremely rusty, but that wasn't the case. He looked like the same Isaiah Thomas from last year for the most part, and of course he is on a minutes restriction, but he made the most of the time he did get on the court. IT dropped 17 points in 19 minutes in the Cavs' 127-110 win over the Blazers. It's good to see him back out there on the court, and I can't wait to see what he can do when he is fully back and incorporated into the starting lineup. Damian Lillard, though, also returned for Portland last night after missing his past few games and dropped 25. Kawhi Leonard had his best game since coming back. The Spurs have pretty much lifted his minutes restriction. They're still monitoring him, but they allowed him to play 30 minutes for the first time this year, and he delivered with 25 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals in the Spurs' 100-91 win over New York. Kawhi Leonard is almost, not quite yet, but almost back at 100% again. Dwight Howard continues to have sort of a resurgent season, his best one in my opinion since maybe his Orlando days, to be honest. His first year in Houston wasn't awful either though, but he's been playing well. 20 points, 8 rebounds for him last night as the Hornets blew out the Kings 131-111, by far their most dominant win of the season. The Clippers had been through more this season than some teams have been through in the past 5 seasons. So the fact that they're only 2 games below 500 and have a 4-game winning streak, you have to give them some respect for that. And Lou Williams has been the reason for their success, if that's what you want to call it, this season. The guy hasn't balling out this year. He just had a 40-point game the other night, and he almost had another one yesterday as he dropped 33 in the Clippers' 113-105 win over Memphis. And Memphis is just a ticking time bomb at this point with the trade deadline approaching. I'll be really disappointed and upset if Gasol is still on that team by the time of the All-Star break. Devin Booker dropped 34 points and 7 assists. TJ Warren added 31 points, and the Suns get the narrow 104-103 win over Atlanta. Thanks also to a clutch block by Marquise Chris in the final seconds. That wraps up all the action from last night though. You guys can vote for the player of the day by clicking this little card thing right here. Just remember though that only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday DeMar DeRozan was by default the player of the day with his 52 points and 8 assists. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to smack that like button as well as subscribe to the channel to join the quest to 200K and hashtag a million in the year, and to stay up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. But until tomorrow, keep getting the bucks, Team STC, and I'm out of here.